much this?
Slow, Johnny Madrid. Muy lento.
Isham, you know, games like that are going to get you killed. You're going to get yourself killed from doing that. Go on, sit down. How the devil you been, huh? How you been?
I'm getting by. Sit down. Hey, barkeep, 2 fresh glasses, and they better be clean.
I've been for a week. I've been here. The stagecoach is leaving soon now.
From Coyo?
That's right.
Maybe you're headed for the same job we got. Me and that Indian over there and Sexton Joe here.
What's this about Coyo?
Yeah. It's a cattle war brewing. Things bust loose. Could be another Johnson County fracas.
Who's hiring guns?
Eastern big shot. Been running cattle in the foothills on government range.
Warburton.
You know the man?
Yeah, by reputation. What's he need gun hawks like you for?
Some small ranchers have bunched together against him. They want to stop him from shipping cattle to market.
Why would he want to do that? I mean, he's only going to force the price lower.
You seem to know a good deal about the situation.
I try and keep up.
Then maybe you know the man who's leading the fight against Warburton. A hardhead named Murdoch Lancer.
What if I did?
Maybe you're planning on hiring out to Lancer. Don't. Warburton's bought himself an edge. And I'll see he keeps it.
Hey, hold now. He wouldn't side against his own kind. Come on now. Put the fire out, huh?
He that is not with me is against me, the Bible says.
He's got an idea, Johnny boy. Come with us. Warburton will sign you on quicker, and you can say Johnny Madrid.
Well, in or out?
I'm in.
There's 4 of you. Father only expected 3.
I'm odd man. The boys here told me the Warburtons put out a call for help. Thought I'd take my chances getting hired on. Johnny Madrid, man.
Madrid. That's a wonderful name for it. What would you call yourself? A soldier of fortune?
Yeah, something like that.
Would you help me down? Oh, I'm sorry. My leg fell asleep.
Shouldn't right side saddle.
Oh, well, it's the only way for a proper young lady. Guess there are some advantages. Father. This is Mr. Madrid. He's come, chance you could use his services.
I'm afraid not, my dear. We've got a full company.
Hang it up! Eat, 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 eat.
20-mile walk to Coyo.
Father, he came to help us, you know.
How good are you?
Good.
It won't offend you if I ask for a demonstration? There's a pennant, a small flag flying over the tent behind you. Knock it down and you're on. Splendid. Well, you have time to select your horses tonight. Tomorrow morning we'll see about arms and ammunition. Right now you can bed down in those tents over there. Come along, dear.
Glad I talked you into this, Johnny. It's like old times, huh?
Yeah, just like old times. What do you think Warburton's gonna want us to do?
Protect his drovers.
That's it? Doesn't want us to bust a few heads or burn a few barns?
Whatever needs doing. Get that Bushrod Smith over there? Hey, Bushrod.
Warburton's plans are no concern of yours. You dealt yourself in, and you stay in.
Well, I'd just like to know the game, that's all.
The game's what it always is, Johnny boy.
Taking a moonlight ride, Mr. Madrid, or are you just stealing the horse?
Moonlight ride.
It sounds like a good idea. Mind if I tag along?
No. But your father might.
Oh, no. He's not the protective sort at all, really. Well, at least I don't think so. Actually, we just got acquainted. He's been roaming around the world, and I've been away at boarding school all this time. Until last week, I just got to know him as the man who sent me presents on Christmas. Oh, I'm a chatterbox, aren't I?
No, I was just thinking I just got to know my father, too.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you know that makes us kindred spirits, don't you? En rapport, as the French say.
Is that what the French say?
Uh-huh. Oh, well, why don't you change your mind and let me come along now, okay?
Don't you know pretty girls and gunfighters don't mix?
But you don't look very dangerous.
I am. Well, if your father had any sense, he'd send you back to boarding school.
No, he can't. I have to help him finish his memoirs. It's about his life and travels all around the world.
Doesn't he know that the minute he tries to shift one steer, just one steer out of moral coil, everything's gonna break loose?
Well, it doesn't have to. Not if that Murdoch Lancer would just listen to reason.
Well, I guess how it looks depends on where you stand. Cold?
No, I mean...
No, I'm going to keep it. Make sure I bring the horse back.
a foolish mistake, Johnny, letting yourself become involved like that.
I had no choice.
Well, at least you found out what sort of a man Warburton is.
Oh, I don't know. He didn't smell like brimstone. Didn't smell like cattleman either. Why is he selling out in such a low market?
Says he's bored with the cattle business. Wants to put all of his money in Bolivian tin mines or castles in Spain. It's typical of the man. He's an adventurer, an irresponsible dreamer who exploits and then moves on with no regard to the damage he's done.
You mean you don't wear his hat square on his head?
This situation lost its humor, Johnny, when he started hiring guns.
Murdoch, it seems to me there are two sides. Are you sure yours balances out on the right?
Mine? Don't you mean ours?
Yeah. Still and all, telling a man he can't sell his own property, that's swinging a lot of weight.
It's not a question of swinging weight. It's not even a question of keeping up the price of beef. It's a matter of principle. Such as having a decent concern for your neighbor. When we settled this land, Johnny, we realized pretty quick that you cannot cut your neighbor's throat and survive. That's why we founded the association, to protect ourselves against lone wolves and spoilers like Warburton. Why, he could destroy a dozen of the smaller ranchers, men who have put their whole lives into this land. Don't you see why they have to stop him any way they can?
What about legal means?
The Scots in Sacramento to try to get an injunction, but I don't believe we can depend on it.
That's why I'm going to be Johnny Madrid for a few days.
What's the point?
The point is, I'll be on the inside where I can learn their plans. Keep the lid on the pot if it starts to boil over. I don't know, maybe even get Warburton to be reasonable.
And if somebody should find out who you are? No, Johnny, I can't let you take the risk.
Murdoch, you're running one, too. I know how men like Sexton Joe Hughes operate. And sooner or later, they go after the man at the top. And that's you. Like it or not, I'm going to be there where I can stop it.
I guess I'm not used to having sons to worry about me. It's a new experience.
Well, get used to it. Oh, by the way, some of your rancher friends, they got hair-triggered tempers like Driscoll and Santee. You make sure they don't start no trouble.
I'll do whatever I can. But Warburton has brought a show of violence to this country. And violence is like an ugly infection. It spreads and breeds more violence before it can be stamped out.
Take those targets down to the wash and set up a firing range.
Sure thing, Mr. Warburton. Not that we need to practice.
It's not for your benefit. It's for theirs. There's a spyglass. We're being watched by those shirt-tail ranchers.
You want us to flush them out?
Nonsense, you're missing the whole point. The show is for their benefit. Marksmanship, pistol drill, rough riding.
You really think you can buffalo them into backing down, huh?
I've done it before, once in the Sudan. Our expedition was surrounded by dervishes. Good display of strength put them to rout, and without shedding a drop of blood. All right, get those targets down there. Madrid. Haven't you something to tell me?
Like what?
You're not wearing your coat.
Tally told you, huh?
No, she didn't. I have other eyes and ears in this camp.
Sexton, huh? I bet he dressed up his report real good.
He doesn't trust you. I'm not sure I do either. Where'd you go last night?
Oh, about a mile or so west. I found me a nice, quiet clump of trees and slept.
My orders were not to leave this camp.
Warburton. You know, if I like being told when to spit and when to polish, I would have stayed in the Army. Meaning the Mexican Army.
Well, you've enough audacity for a full regiment. I can see why Tally's attracted to you.
Oh, buenos dias, Mr. Madrid. Father, I finished the notes. They're ready for the publisher.
Splendid. And when you ride into town, I want you to telegraph the railroad, too, arranging about the cattle train.
Can I pick my own escort?
Well, I don't think it's a good idea to show my face around Morocoyo.
Nonsense. If they recognize you as Johnny Madrid, so much the better. It'll cause that much more fear and trembling. Go fetch his coat.
Johnny, what happened? What is it?
Let's get something to eat.
Did you know those men out there? Honestly, ever since we came into town, you've been pulling that hat down over your head and hiding behind posts all
I just don't think
day.
it's a good idea to show my face around Morocoyo.
Why not? Dad thought it would be a great idea if you
Your
let
father
him...
doesn't know the whole story about me and Morocoyo. Come on, let's eat.
Señor, buenos días. Síganme, tengo una mesa especial para ustedes. Este platillo es sabrosísimo, la especialidad de la casa.
Gallina con frijoles, por favor, ¿ah?
Bien, hace mucho tiempo que no lo veo por acá con una señorita tan hermosa. Gusto de verlo.
Ponle mucho, mucho chile, ¿eh, mamacita?
Con todo gusto, todo lo que usted quiera. Fuego en la barriga enciende el corazón, ¿eh?
Would you care to translate that?
No, I wouldn't. Well, she just said that it'd make it a little hotter for us later on.
Okay. What'd she bring us?
Some tortilla. Here. Just put it under your chin. Now, you take it up and you roll it. You like I do. And you stick it in here.
Well, that was pretty good. Maybe a little heavy on the onions. Now, don't forget, I got some change coming out of that. Don't go running off to Frisco.
How'd you ever get a name like Tally?
Oh, it's short for Natalie. Why?
Oh, just wondering.
You're doing it again. You're acting invisible. You know that man?
Hey, Johnny!
Well, he seems to know you.
Yeah, I missed you out at the ranch. Hey, Murdoch didn't tell me you was back.
Murdoch?
Back off, will you, Joey?
What ranch?
What ranch? Why, just about the biggest one there is. You mean this galoot hasn't introduced himself? Well, allow me. This here's Murdoch's son, Johnny Lancer. Well, now, what brought that on?
Go on, will you, Joey?
What?
Go on, I'll talk to you later. You gonna listen to me?
How could you ever get away with it? With Sexton Joe and Isham?
Because I used to be a gun hawk when they knew me. Tally, it's a long, long story, but you see, I'm both Johnny Lancer and Johnny Madrid.
Which are you most?
Lancer,
Really?
yes.
Oh, Johnny, that's wonderful. I knew you were different. I knew you couldn't be like all those others with their cold eyes and everything. I could feel it.
Yeah. Kindred spirit, huh? Tally, you think if I go to your father, he'll listen to reason?
Oh, I know he will. Oh, he's a little bit proud and a little bit stubborn, but if you approach him the right way, he'll listen to any reason.
I don't know.
Oh, Johnny, yes. He's an incredible romantic, and the warring families and you as a prince disguised on a mission of peace. It's like out of a storybook. He'll love it.
Well, let's hope so.
Commence independent firing.
Underestimated those savages. What a waste.
Get him to the tent. We'll get him back in, then. Come back. Easy with him. Get us back.
Your father just shot my father.
He wouldn't do that, Kelly. You gotta believe me.
Sorry I have to report that our lawyers were unable to get the injunction against Warburton, which means we have no legal way of stopping him from shipping his beef.
Can't do that! Now, that's it! The last nail in our coffin.
Maybe not. Now, we still have time for a last-minute settlement, an appeal to Warburton.
He won't listen.
Now, I say we beat that fancy talking dude to the punch. Stampede is heard and tear up the railroad tracks.
Hold it, hold it. I understand exactly how you feel, but there's something you don't know. Johnny.
Warburton's been shot. Hurt bad enough to die. Who did it?
Now, take it easy, Johnny.
Who hid behind that rock and put a rifle bullet in his back?
You're saying it's one of us?
Who else had a reason?
Man like Warburton's bound to have picked up enemies, Johnny. Could have been anybody.
Now, that's pure fact. Maybe even one of them pistol arrows.
Who else had a reason?
Don't go curling your mouth up at us, Johnny. Nobody here is no back shooter.
Anyway, whoever it was did us a big favor.
Where were you an hour ago? Let go! The door! Come!
Keep the others inside.
Right.
Are you settled down enough to listen?
Settle down. One of them is a bushwhacker.
I don't want to believe that, but even if it's true, that makes one guilty, the rest are innocent. You can't condemn the whole cause because of one man.
Murdoch, any cause that turns the back shooting's wrong. That's all I know.
Where are you going?
Warburton's camp. I'm making it my personal business to see those cattle get on that train.
Doc, how is he?
Lancer.
You want to make some of that, Isham?
Had plenty of chances to tell us whose pup you were.
Yeah, I know I did. I'm not proud of it either, but don't matter no more. Me and my old man bumped heads. And, well, I'm Johnny Madrid again.
You aren't still spying?
Do you think so? Well, come on, if you think so, try crowding me.
Easy, Johnny boy. No need to be such a porcupine.
You know something, Lancer? He's still the boss. If he says kill you, you're dead.
What can I say?
Light the lamp. Beautiful, isn't it? I picked it up in the Sudan, along with a spear wound that festered for months. But I survived. The irony of it. War, fever, rebellion. I survived them all. But not this. I'm done for.
No. Nothing's that certain.
And in this alien land, a stranger and afraid, in a world I never made. That upset you?
Yeah. I was beginning to like you.
You took a chance coming back here to tell me that? Or was there another reason?
How about talent?
It haunts me, Johnny. She'll have nothing. No one. Every penny I possess is tied up in these cattle.
Don't you worry. I promise to take care of that.
You mean that? You'd stand against your own father?
It's not an easy thing, but I'm gonna do it.
Your hand on it.
Visitor just rode in. Your father, Johnny Boy.
It's all right, boys. Get out. Empty-handed? You might have brought flowers. Or some homemade candy.
I'm sorry, Warburton. Deeply sorry about what happened. The man will be caught and punished, I promise you that.
Pretty words. Well, what have you really done so far?
The sheriff is out of town in the meantime. Well, I didn't expect you to make it any easier for me.
Easy to do what?
To make one last attempt to repair our differences. How can I make you understand what you're doing? You're forcing men, good, decent men, to choose between fighting your hired guns or losing the ranches they've spent their whole lives building. Either way, innocent men suffer.
They've killed me. Why should I play the cavalier?
Pity him, Johnny. A man that lives without principles dies without them.
Sexton? Sexton Joe Hughes? Mr. Lancer is leaving. He has safe conduct out of camp.
You only put it off, sir. If you want your cattle shipped, Lancer's got to die. As soon as you're safely packed away, Madrid will run straight to his old man. If you want that little girl of yours to come out with anything, you're gonna have to give us the word.
Come home, Johnny.
I can't. I made promises.
Is that your father?
Yeah.
Easy, Johnny. Wasn't sure I'd find you. Figured you might have lit out for hearth and home. Wouldn't have blamed you none.
Just keeping watch. Make sure those ranchers don't stampede the cattle, that's all.
Spoke like Johnny Madrid.
Truth between friends, Isham? I don't like siding against my old man. It's got me ripped up inside. But, well, you know, I just think Murdoch's wrong. I'm gonna be with you until you get on that train, that's all.
It's the way me and Sexton Joe and the others feel. We took a job. And even if Warburton dies, we're gonna finish it.
And?
Well, you're not gonna like this, but Warburton's put Sexton Joe in charge of things. What else? You know his way. Kill a snake by shooting off its head. Sorry, Johnny. I had to find out which side you had picked when it come to the crunch. Nobody's gunning my old man. Nobody. I got my loyalty, too.
Oh.
thought you were still asleep.
No. My mind is too full of unfinished business. You must go back to school for another year or two. You'll need money. All I have's tied up in the cattle. That's why.
The book be of comfort? There are 3 men guarding the herd. Will you be needing the rest of us for the next hour?
Why?
Isham and me have something to attend to, miss. With your daddy's permission.
Do what you have to.
Where are they going?
Just an errand.
I'm afraid of those men with their blank faces.
And here's the shell that Johnny found.
Identical.
I traced it to the gunsmith.
Driscoll, I ought to...
Murdoch, what I did for everybody.
No, not for everybody. For yourself.
Oh, Murdoch, listen. How long have you known me?
I don't know you. I don't think I have ever known you.
Somebody had to do something.
Take him to the sheriff.
Come on.
Sir? Why don't you come with us?
No, Scott, you go ahead. I'll follow later.
Still hoping Johnny will show up.
Why didn't you shoot him and have done with it?
We might need him as a hostage.
Johnny, what'd you do to him?
Got him spying. Sending information to his father's men. Of course, he won't admit it.
Help me get him inside, please.
Rope him up real good and see that he stays that way. Come on. I've got work to do.
Isham. Charlie, where's Isham?
Well, he's gone. He and the preacher just rode out.
They're gonna kill my brother.
No, John!
You heard me? Get out!
Go.
Are you all right?
Dolly. Help me, they're gonna kill him. That fine father of yours has turned his wolves loose.
No. He wouldn't. Father?
It's necessary.
No, you're not a murderer.
I never intended it to be like this. You have to believe that. It just happened. It was only intended to be a show of violence. But somehow it got out of hand.
Dolly, help me. before they kill him.
No. It's too late. It has to be.
Why?
So Lancer can't stop us from shipping the cattle. The money. It's all I can leave you.
What about this? Huh, Warburton? What's the last chapter gonna be? Tally here, she thinks you're some kind of a hero. Swaggering across the desert, leading crusades, bigger than life and twice as brave. That's the way you want it to read, isn't it? But it's all a lie. Just like Murdoch said, a man who lives without principles.
It's for Tally.
What's more important for Tally, Warburton? A handful of money or a clean memory of her father? You decide. But you better make it quick.
No sudden moves.
What are you doing here?
Surely it ain't hard to guess.
You can see I'm unarmed.
We're not particular about being fair. But if you'd like a moment for prayer.
What I'd like is to see Johnny. Try one last time to solve the riddle.
What riddle's that?
Of Johnny himself. Perhaps you could help me understand him. After all, he was a gunfighter like you.
We're fallen angels. Brought down to hell, the good book says. Men beyond redemption.
If it's any comfort, Johnny, he never quite hit the bottom.
Maybe I prevented that. By bringing him here. Giving him a choice between two lives.
Isham, you're me. Which?
I like a Bible.
Sexton. Isham? Isham, let's call it off, huh? I mean, there's no more point. We were friends, Isham.
Sorry, Johnny boy. I got a job to do.
Well, that's useless. I mean, it's... Why?
pride in my trade.
Grayson! Oh. That's all I ever wanted to be one time. Is Johnny Madrid, good at my trade.
I guess you are Johnny Madrid. Guess part of you always will be.
Charlie asked me, which are you most? I didn't even have to think about it.
Your answer?
Well, Murdoch, you got a prodigal son if you still want one.
Thank you for my father's resting place. Gift of an enemy, he'd value that.
A reluctant enemy.
Yes, I know. Thank you for taking care of everything else so I can go back to school, too.
It's little enough considering you prevented a range war.
And you, kindred spirit, I'll expect lots of letters.
It's ironic. After all the violence, Warburton ends up on Lancer land.
In a world he never made.
What'd you say?
Nothing.